Yep. We back with another one. All right, we got Black Balloon, so you know it's conspiracy video, bro. We gotta come on now. So, Connor, Ian Connor, however you pronounce it, revealed this about ASAP Rocky. What tent go chain oh rain new thing with my cell phone. Let's see what he's talking about. Sell a whole thing with my cell phone ring. Let me know what's up before I rolling up. Let me know what's up before I roll. I've been smoking on that.
What is going on with y'all, man?
I've been smoking on sativa.
It
Got
is
me.
Black Balloon.
I've been rolling all week.
And
It got me.
I'm back with another video, man. So
That's
y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all.
That big statement's raw.
Now,
Long
I
live
swear these
ASAP.
people got to be
Tweet.
watching my videos at this point. The other day, when I
Pesos.
compared Kanye and
I be that pretty
the
mother.
limo thing to
Call 'em
Casanat,
what I reppin'.
DJ Academics posted the same video the next day. Obviously, that clip is very old, and a lot of people know about that clip, but I found that odd. Now, yesterday, I was pretty much the first one to do a video on ASAP and Michelle Lammy and him on the Joe Budden podcast. And now, basically, this morning, Ian Connor just comes out, flat out says that ASAP Rocky had ASAP Yams killed, basically sacrificed. I'm like, all right, I don't believe in no coincidences. But anyways, that's not an old theory. Remember, I talked about it in the video.
Call me Kinfolk did a video on this, bro, breaking it down.
I briefly talked about how ASAP Rocky, I believed, he sacrificed ASAP Yams. ASAP Yams was basically the founder of ASAP Worldwide.
Yes, he was.
And, you know, founder / co-founder. Basically, he was the original one, so to speak, right? And Ian Connor, this morning, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video about this immediately. Him and ASAP Rocky been beefing for a while, right? Ian Connor's career started off early in fashion, huge staple in fashion, had major influence over the fashion industry, and rappers introduced a lot of artists to ASAP, Lil Yachty, Playboy Carti. In a sense, he was responsible for a lot of different artists' come up. He also styled a lot of artists that you know today.
Ian Connor took me to his house. Ian had told him I was a graphic designer. Really, I was a rapper. And he turned around, he was on his computer, and turned around and he looked at me and said, who the f*** is this weird ass in my house? And I was just like, and Ian was like, oh, it's the graphic designer I was telling you about. He has some graphic designs he wants to show you, and I didn't have shit.
He's still kind of involved in the fashion industry to this day, right? Although he has a lot of stuff surrounding his name, which we are going to get into the 33 allegations as of 2020 against him for basically assault. No official charges, but it's just very odd how the year 2020, he ended up with 33 allegations from different women about assault, right? This tweet was, Rocky killed Yams. I don't even care no more. It is what it is. Then he responded to someone who said, playing with your dead man's name to get at Rocky ain't trill. Ian Connor said, killing your mans for self-gain ain't trill. And now if y'all don't know, this is ASAP Yams. ASAP Yams died in 2015, y'all. So we're looking at basically a decade since his death. And what you're gonna find to be very interesting about his death,
gotta indulge, bro.
I think the official cause, I may have to look it back up. I think the official cause was too much lean, health problems, and he might have died in his sleep, right? I think that was the official cause. We'll look it up here in a second. So what you're gonna find to be very interesting, right? And I don't think this is a coincidence. He died January 18th, 2015. We'll get right into, the meat of it.
That's 10.
January 18th in 2015
Well, you can
was
say
on a
it's
Sunday.
6. Ooh.
That right there
Sacrifice
tells
Sunday.
me that
Come on, Black.
he was
I've been
ritualistically
following you,
sacrificed.
folks.
I believe
Sunday.
he was sacrificed. I believe A$AP Rocky had a hand in that. Just like when we talked about yesterday, him having one of the most infamous pictures standing in that pentagram, which I could put on the screen. There's been so many, it's probably been 1,000+ videos where they use that photo. And now what you're gonna also find very interesting about this photo, it's obvious that A$AP Rocky is the only one standing in the middle of the pentagram.
Crazy
Look
picture.
at the energy of this room.
Yo, hold on 1 second. I want to take a minute to show y'all my merchandise. If you see anything you like, go ahead and get you some. You'll be out there looking fly, looking fresh. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Back to the video.
Room looks dark. Now this photo seems to be in black and white, but just look at it. Something else you will find very interesting. This was done before A$AP Yams died. If you could tell, this is A$AP Yams right here to the right.
Yeah, on the right.
It's like the shortest guy in the crew almost. That's him right there. They are all holding some kind of book. We don't know what they're holding. A$AP is the only one in the middle of this pentagram. If I'm not mistaken, this was officially done for video, I think. With candles. Candles surrounding the pentagram. 3 candles just happen to be at the point furthest in front of A$AP Rocky. Now, we don't know what else happened after this photo, but this photo has went down as one of the, just like I was saying, the most infamous, greatest conspiracy photos there is when it comes to hip-hop and fashion. That's A$AP Yams right there, y'all.
Got crazy.
I don't know, man. Every time I put out an album, or every time I'm about to release an album, for some fucking strange reason, you know what I'm saying? I always lose somebody close to me. Pops, it was Yams, it was my sister. I always lose somebody close to me. So, shit feel like, some crazy shit, like jinx or some shit. Without being superstitious or just paranoid,
you know what the hell you
take a toll. You take a toll out of niggas to just do shit, bro.
The thing is, this man just told y'all.
Exactly.
You can forget everything you watching in this video. This one clip tells you everything. And I think I talked about this maybe a year plus ago. I don't know. The man literally said every time he puts out an album, somebody around him dies. Pops, Yams, and whoever else. He just told you. He dropped the album and A$AP Yams died. Drop an album, his dad died.
Y'all still don't
He's
believe
telling
that
you.
shit.
And then said, I don't
Y'all
know if this is
still
like
don't
a
believe
jinx
it.
or something. But I'm getting tired of
the
it.
Mandela effect. Y'all still don't believe it.
And sitting there acting like he don't know why this is happening. Think about that.
Yeah,
And now,
it's easy to
think about those
shut
tweets.
down anything you don't understand.
It was crazy that we be back talking about
It's
this
easy,
again
bro.
because someone just tweeted something
Knowledge is
about
power,
him having
folks.
something to
That's
do
all
with
I'm saying.
A$AP Yams' death. Now, what I thought was very interesting, which is why I screenshotted this, he died January 18th, 2015, to show you that it was on a Sunday. Sacrifice day, Sundays, y'all already know. Now, what is even more spooky about the situation is his death date this year fell on a Sunday. January 18th was just last Sunday. And now Ian Connor, a week later, is basically accusing A$AP Rocky of things that we've thought for a very long time.
You couldn't hold it in, I'm a fool.
That he had something to do with the death
That was his homie or something.
of his close friend at one time, who was also very influential, obviously, because he basically started the whole A$AP movement. And we know a couple of them guys. I think ASAP Bari, who is like the V-Lone guy, he has some allegations of assault on him as well. So it seems like that was pretty fitting around their crew, although Ian Connor says that, ASAP got a bunch of girls to come at him and accuse him of it, and it wasn't true. That I'm not really sure of, because he kind of looks like he might go down that route of forcing himself on some women. But if I'm not mistaken, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there was ever any charges against him officially. Now, Ian Connor also modeled for Yeezy. I mean, he's been all over the industry, working with the top artists fashion-wise for a very long time. I think he's actually 33 years old this year. His birthday just passed. So I find the timing of all of this to be a little bit on the weird side. But with that being said, let's just jump into some clips about people talking about Ian Connor.
Do you guys remember Ian Connor? This guy right here, who, unless you're a fanatic with rap or fashion, chances are you don't know who he is, even though almost everything we listen to and wear is in somewhat way or form inspired by him. And who also is one of the most controversial and polarizing figures in rap and fashion. Well, who is Ian and what does he do? Well, really back in the early 2010s, he built himself a following through Tumblr, as he was a part of various fashion groups and modeled for independent streetwear brands. And also living in New York City and being well connected within the fashion scene, by the time Instagram came out, him and his friends completely took over the platform. And he eventually built himself a reputation where he is known as the guy who is ahead of the latest trends. And because of that, he got various jobs styling celebrities and rappers, people like Kylie Jenner, for example, and also being a creative director and consultant for various brands and projects. But it is without a doubt his ability to connect and put people on is why people know him the most. Where, for example, Yachty himself has gone on record to say that Ian was a massive contribution to the reason as to why he blew up in the mainstream. And also his friendship with a young up-and-coming rapper, Playboi Carti, as he was the main connection to him and the mob, and was a catalyst for underground designers, Ats Pizza, for example. But it was also his connections with major artists both in rap and in fashion that gave him the name King of the Youth, where they legitimately took his creative input into consideration, people like Virgil Abloh. He also had a close relationship with Kanye West. Also had close ties with ASAP Bari and his brand V-Lone, and was practically best friends with ASAP Rocky, even being managed by him, and also has been seen building a relationship with Drake. But I also did mention that he is controversial, and for the people that do know him, a lot of people like him and a lot of people don't. Well, that's because for a lot of things that he does, there's also a lot of things that he doesn't do. Because he also does have the reputation of just copying everything that's already popular and making it his own. Where, for example, his brand Revenge Storm is just old schools with a lightning bolt, but to his credit were extremely popular when they came out. And also his beef that he had with Ass Pizza lost him a lot of respect as well, where that beef even leaked into his relationship with Kerwin Frost and Playboi Carti, where we got the infamous video of Kerwin and Playboi Carti fighting, with my favorite part where Carti grabs a chair and literally is going to throw it at Kerwin Frost. But it is the various amount of women that have come forward accusing him of assault, with some estimates being higher than 20 women, which obviously destroyed a lot of connections and relationships that he had. But from my understanding, so far he hasn't been convicted of any. It also doesn't help with his latest brand, Sicko, the artwork being inspired by ISIS, because they were a terrorist organization that was known for burning people alive, throwing gays off of roofs, and their mistreatment of women. Now, I know for a lot of people they do know who Ian Connor is, and that's because they are versed in underground rap and fashion. But for the most part, the everyday person doesn't. And they may not realize that a massive portion of the music and fashion that they consume has been inspired by him. And with him recently being released from jail, it is exciting to see what he has next.
Now, what you have here, regardless if you believe he actually did assault a lot of those women that came forward, and the R word as well, was involved in allegations dating all the way back to 2016. And 4 years later, by 2020, it had, become 33 different women who came forward, right? Like I was saying, what you have here is somebody who was very connected from the moment he got into the industry, fashion industry, Kardashians, Kanye West, Virgil Abloh. I mean, the clip was right. A lot of people won't know who Ian Connor is unless you are,
follow this type
fan
of
of rap and fashion. And those early days, creative stylist for Wiz Khalifa. I mean, he was working with them all, almost before it was even a trend for you know, stylists and creative directors from the rap game. You know, like before it became really big, Ian Connor was there and paving the way for a lot of stuff. So it's like people are always going to give him credit for that. But it's also one of them things where, you know, you gain that much influence, you gain a lot of power in a sense, you get around these rappers, you get around a lot of women. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if any of that stuff was true. But officially, there were no charges. So there's nothing, you know, we could really say much about it. But you know, I honestly did the video because he came out and actually said that ASAP had a hand in the death of ASAP Yams. And by that I mean ASAP Rocky had a hand in it. And that's probably been the first guy who's actually close or best friends with ASAP Rocky at a time to say something like that. It's always been like speculation, you know, people just saying he sacrificed ASAP Yams. Just like I believe with Pro Era, Joey Badass had a hand in the sacrifice of Capital Steez. It's always somebody, you know, it's always somebody who has to be given up. And if you look at it, it just makes sense because if you go back to that photo, ASAP Rocky is still, you know, it's like everybody does their thing, you know, and there's always one who comes out on top. Joey Badass came out on top Pro Era. ASAP Rocky, it's like the ones that are willing to make the sacrifices, they always come out on top. And now, like we talked about yesterday, ASAP, you're married to a billionaire, you know, your industry, you're this and that for life. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it just makes sense. But I thought this was an interesting video to just kind of dig into the whole Ian Connor thing. You know, someone that still to this day, a lot of people may not be aware, you know, him being behind a lot of this stuff in fashion and rap. So yeah, man, not gonna keep it going too much longer. Just wanted to get on here and talk about this with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments. That being said, Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon, all right?
Yeah, sure. Appreciate if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out Black Balloons. We got 2 channels, Black Balloons and more Black Balloons. You know what I'm saying? We be going crazy, bro. You already know what's going on with me. I'm up out of here.